What is up, everybody? In today's video we're going to be doing a War of the Monsters tier list. Now, like in all my tier list videos, if you haven't seen one before, this tier list is not based on any competitive rankings or like how good the characters actually are. It is solely based on my opinions on how fun I had playing the characters, going through their adventure playthrough, the arcade playthrough, whatever game it is. So yeah, I guess we should just hop right into this. Starting off, we have Prowler. Now, Prowler is a pretty cool character. Overall, before we get even into Prowler, as character like archetypes go, or monster archetypes, I guess in this game, I usually prefer a like stronger, like heavier hitting character who might be a little bit slower, but they have like good damage and stuff like that. So Prowler isn't really that. They have good damage with the their special where they shoot the little bug and it attaches and it kind of just like leeches on you. That is a pretty strong special that does do very good damage. I do like the movement speed of Prowler, but I'm not a big fan of usually not a big fan of the flying characters, just because I feel like I'm not very good at it. It drains a lot of energy. So because of all those reasons, I think Prowler is going to be a C tier. Now, moving on to Raptros. On the contrary to what I just said about not usually liking flying characters, I love this character. This character is super fun, super fast, good damage. The combos usually work well. That's one thing in this game, is certain combo strings that the monsters will have, you can actually like block the last attack so you don't get launched, and then the other monster will be able to punish you or whatever. There's ways around that, like using if you press forward in square, they'll do like an attack that pushes them far away, and it's usually fast enough to where you can't like block it. And it'll kind of knock them away if they do block it so that you don't get punished. And of course if you do back in square, you'll do a launch. And then I believe the same thing for back and circle. And then forward circle is the little stun you can do, so if they're blocking a lot, you can stun them and punish. But yeah, like I was saying, contrary to Prowler, Raptros is actually a flying character that I love. They are super fun. Being able to use their like long range special and having the fire breath similar to Togera's, except I don't remember if Togera's lights you on fire. I don't believe it does, but Raptros does. It lights you on fire, so you have the damage of the actual fire coming out of Raptros' mouth, and you also have the damage of the lingering fire burning you, and that does a lot of damage. And you can do it while you're flying. I feel like for how fast they are and agile they are, they have good damage. So yeah, Raptros is actually going to be our first S tier. Now, Kineticlops is kind of in the same boat with Prowler for me, because it's kind of like a more faster character, but is not super strong, and the long range special isn't bad, where they like zap you and then it just does like a little bit of damage, decent amount of damage, and then launches you into just launches you away. If you get them into like a building, it'll probably do a little bit more, and it'll like smash the building a little bit, which is always very cool to see. But yeah, not like a super strong character, and I don't love the combos you can do with this character, so it's probably going to be another C tier for me. Now, Ultra V is a very, very cool character. I love the design. Obviously very like mecha based, or like based on like Japanese anime or like manga, mecha based. Gundam is what the word I was looking for. It's a very cool character. I love the long range special where you shoot the fist out and it grabs them and pulls them close to you and stuns them, so you can do a free combo, or then you can do a grab, which grabs are super strong in this game. You can, if you have the energy for it, you can just like punch them like 5 times and then launch them into the air, and if you hit them into a building, you'll do even more damage. So yeah, Ultra V is definitely a very fun character. I do wish that I actually would have preferred if the long range special used the sword, like instead of just doing the punch and pulling them back, which is a very cool and unique special. They actually pulled out their sword that you see them use in their intro when you do the adventure playthrough, and they actually pull it out and swing it around when they do their like close range special, like the one that every character has that is like a big burst, like the get off me special move basically. I wish they actually pulled that out and it was like a weapon you could use, just like, you know, if you picked up a rock, or like a Magmo does with his head, you can pull out a sword and you can use that and have a different moveset. That would have been really cool. But it's still definitely an A tier character for me. Now, Robo-47 is my favorite character in this game. I had so much fun playing as Robo-47, and I was surprised because I'm like, just like, you know, cool looking character, but it's just like a robot, so probably not gonna be like too crazy or anything. But I had so much fun. Like, there was a smile on my face the whole time I was playing that thing. You could just do crazy combos with this character, especially on the bosses who don't get knocked in the air, have the same knockback as the normal monsters. You do crazy combos. The close range special is, you know, like the same as everyone else's, but the long range special is so cool. You hold down triangle and circle, a rocket comes up out of your head. You lock on to the monster or the boss or whatever, and it works on all the 3 bosses, which is always a plus. And you lock on and go beep 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 beep, and then you let go. It like tracks them, blows them up, does good damage, launches them in the air. You can knock them into like a building or maybe more than one. It does really good damage. He's just an all-around super fun character to play as. And absolutely an S tier for me. Just absolutely super fun. My favorite character in the game. Now moving on to Togera, obviously very Godzilla inspired. Togera is very fun. Togera is one of those characters who is, like I was saying, the archetype I normally like more, where they're very strong and like super good damage, but they're more slow. That is pretty much Togera in a nutshell. Super strong, lots of damage with the combos. Not super long combos, but they launch and they do good damage. And then the long range special is like Raptros, like I was saying, it's fire breath, except his is more like, I guess, more like Godzilla with like a laser breath, because it's like green instead of like the normal orange fire that Raptros does. And I don't believe it sets you on fire, because I guess it's technically not supposed to be fire. But yeah, overall, super fun character. Has the stuff I like. Definitely an A tier up there with Ultra Beam. Now, Zorgon is my least favorite character. I'll just go ahead and say it. Zorgon is a D tier. If there was an F tier on this list, I wouldn't put him in it. I don't think he's that bad. But Zorgon is a D tier. There's just so many problems with this character. The attacks are super slow. The combo string is super easy to interrupt. As soon as you see him go to grab his little blaster in his like light string combo, you can just interrupt him and do a combo back to him. His long range special is really cool. It takes out the blaster, puts like the little ball on it, shoots it at the monster, and then the UFOs will track them and shoot at them while they're running around, they're attacking you or whatever. So it is good to get like a little damage out of that, but it just does not do very much damage. I don't know if it's that the UFOs just miss a lot, or if they don't have good tracking, but they just do not ever really do enough damage for me to be worth it. So that's another thing. That's just the combos being interrupted when slow, the long range special being cool but not really doing that much damage or working that well. And then just the one thing I will say that Zorgon has is the movement speed is pretty good, and his jump height is good. But everything else, I don't really care for it. The close range special is like the other ones. He kind of like spins around for a second, slams down, and that's fine. But yeah, if he didn't have good movement speed and a good jump, then he probably would be F tier. But as he sits now, he's going to be a D tier. Now Congar, obviously King Kong of this game, is similar to Togera, except I would say not as strong, like not as much damage with combos, but similar like length to the combos. And kind of like a similar character, except I would say he does a little bit less damage with the combos, but he's a little bit faster, and I think jumps a little bit higher. His long range special though is not like really anything crazy, just does the roar, knocks you away, does like a decent little bit of damage, and of course close range special just pound the ground, gets you off of him. But that being said, it's still definitely a fun character, not bad by any means. Just doesn't blow me out of the water. So he's gonna be right down the middle, B tier. Now, Magmo is interesting because I debate on giving him an A or a B, because he is definitely a fun character. I like his combo strings are usually pretty good. You can get some decent damage off of them. His long range special is the part where it kind of gets me. It is good if you can hit the enemy and you can keep them up in the air. Like I believe the first fight I did against Congar in the adventure playthrough, I almost like killed him immediately because every single fireball hit him and knocked him into like 2 or 3 different buildings and did a whole bunch of damage. But then there will also be times where you hit the enemy and they'll hit the ground before any of the other fireballs hit them, so it doesn't do nearly as much damage. He's got good power, he's got decent speed, decent jump, but because of the long range special not being consistent, like it having some inconsistencies, he's going to be a B tier for me. Now Magmo is another one, our last monster here, who is kind of the same thing, debating a B or an A, because I love his design. First of all, probably my favorite base design in the game, and has some great costumes. But his combos are good. The light one and the heavy one is good. I like them both. His long range special is where it gets really interesting because he takes his head off. He turns his head like giant. He takes it off. You can use it as a weapon like the smack, or you can throw it, and then if you do triangle circle again, after you throw it, it'll explode. So it is very cool where you can time it, where you can like smack them, throw it, and then explode it like right as it hits them, so you get the damage for hitting them with it and the damage for exploding. It can be very, very cool. And the other thing it does, I haven't even mentioned, is that when you attack with it, when you break a building with it, or I think even when you throw it, it gives you energy back. So you can like abuse it very easily, take your head off, smack the enemy a couple times, or break a building. You'll get your energy back, you get the special back, you can throw it, hit them with it, explode it, and then pull it right back out. So it is very powerful in that sense, but I don't think it's the most fun to do. Like I think it's strong, like in terms of like how good I think that is, I'd probably be an A tier, but because I don't think it's the most fun gameplay, like I have more fun using Robo-47's rocket on his head, or Ultra G's fist that he grabs you and stuns you with. So because of it just not being the most fun, I think he will sit at a B tier for me, but definitely a good character. So yeah, that is going to be the full tier list. A little bit of a shorter video. There's only 10 characters in this game, or 10 monsters in this game, so couldn't talk about it for too long, although I could try, but I'm not going to. I'm going to save you guys with that. That's the 10 characters ranked, 10 monsters ranked, and War of the Monsters. I have my next game in mind for our Tuesday, Wednesday videos, so I hope you guys look forward to that. It's going to be a good one. Another PS2 classic that I loved to play when I was a kid. So yeah, I hope you guys look forward to that one, and just take care, have a great day. Peace.